Hi friends! If you click to check out the new BK Beauty True Beauty Palette, then please keep on watching. Hi, I'm Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. Kinkysweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I am a fitness professional who loves things all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeup, so you can head over to my Instagram. We got a nice gnarly pimple to join us for the True Beauty party. A huge congratulations to Lisa J for now embarking on the cosmetics realm for her brand. If you don't know who Lisa J is, she is a YouTuber as well as a brand owner specifically of BK Beauty. She has her own line of brushes that I also bought, I think, oh my god, a year ago. But her and her team were so nice to send me a couple more. And as of recent, she has now embarked on producing cosmetics from BK Beauty. And here I present her True Beauty palette. Today we'll go over product details and I would like to do 4 looks, because you know how I get. If you are around my skin tone and you were wondering how these shades looked and how they perform on a complexion that's medium, who am I kidding? Light, medium, almost tan, then you are in the right place. True Beauty is exclusively sold on bkbeauty.com and look how beautiful our Lisa is. This eyeshadow palette contains 12 shadows and retails for $45. Vegan and cruelty free, each pan weighs in at around 0.9 grams of product or 0.03 ounces of product. Has a suggested shelf life of 24 months and is made in Canada. Here's a close-up of the packaging. It comes in a box that takes on the same design as the actual palette. You have this beautiful rose beige color, rose gold finishing on the BK Beauty logo as well as the text here. And although cardboard, and here I'll quickly flip over so you can see the color graph on the back, it has some weight to it. It has also a magnetic closure as well as the mirror here, True Beauty on the inside, and you have your shadow grid. Excuse me, are you going to focus on me? Thank you so much. You have the maroon frame with names under each pan. And again, although cardboard, it has some weight to it, so very substantial feeling. Why don't you come in a little closer for these swatches? That's enough. First up, we have Beam, a matte soft vanilla. Next up, we have Brooklyn, pale gold, champagne shimmer. Ooh, that's very soft. And I watched Lisa's video and she had emphasized the fact that she wanted these textures, yes, to reflect light, but not to actually bring forward texture on the lid. So if you're looking for a formula that's very soft on the lid, but again, will still bring that light and reflectivity without the texture, these feel they'll do just that. Next up, we have Grace, a matte, warm neutral, deep orange. Beauty, a matte, warm red brown. Amor, golden copper. Ooh, that's pretty. Ambition, warm pink with soft iridescence. Next up, we have Glow, a satin shimmer, warm chocolate brown. Kate is the fun shade, lavender with a pink shift. A great shade to layer over these others to create a little bit of party arty on the lids. Kind Vibes, cool dusty lilac. Might take some building, we'll see. Probably one that I will have to pack on instead of swirl and twirl on. Next we have Love, a matte dusty terracotta. Queen, a matte deep garnet. And lastly, we have Dream, aubergine with a bronze shimmer. So here are the swatches from True Beauty. Although they look very soft in the swatch, I'm very interested to know how they will apply on the lid and what techniques we can rely on to maybe create a little more impact. Oh, pimples. Going with my trusty Hourglass Eye Veil Primer. I'm almost at the end. I have a new one on standby because this is a vital part of my eye routine, let me tell you. Applying that with my BK Beauty 203 brush. I'm gonna whack that on, and all other products that I have on my face will be listed down below in the description box, as well as the timestamps that I failed to always mention at the top of the video. You have the time bars right there. You could click to the product details, the swatches, when the demos start. Usually people like to rely on a softer shade to set the lid. I'm one to always, change. I'm always one to start applying on a slightly tackier base. Feel that yields a little more color. Here with a 209, I'm gonna slap on Beam. I'm doing this now because I will forget. And let's go in with Brooklyn. Same brush, but tapping that on this arch. Ooh, Brooklyn's nice. very soft. Now, if you're looking for wham bam, pow wow, dazzle lazzle, you're not going to get it in True Beauty. I think Lisa's intention, as she explained in her video, was to create a palette that was approachable, accessible to all makeup wearers in terms of technique and skill level. And these textures are on the softer side, and I think a little easier to use, especially for a beginner. In terms of the color profile, yes, leaning very neutral with that really pretty lavender pink shift shade. But again, being BK Beauty's first palette, I could understand why they would go that route. I want to go in Kind Vibes first. I know we could go in with Grace. I know. I want to see how this looks now with my 201. I'm actually going to start stamping so we can see how the mauve looks. You got a lot of kickback in the pan, which I suspected just from swatching. These are very soft. Very soft, but they glide nicely across the lid, so you're not going to experience any skipping, and you can build these shadows up. Kind Vibes is on with a nice mauvey feel. Let's check out Grace. Let's see what Grace is giving us on the other eye. Whipping that in. This is said to be the more orange matte. I'm picking up as much as I can so we could see the color. So you see this is distinctly warmer than Kind Vibes. And immediately that leads me to believe, although the palette generally leans more neutral, I would say it's a nice balance between warm and cool, just based on these transition shades. 202 with Beauty. Staying on this side to pack on the outer corner. Now I will say the deepest shade in terms of being a matte texture is Queen. And that's more of a garnet shade, leaning more on the red side. This adds more color to the lid, but not intensity. So I would rely on this shade maybe on a soft daily look. I'm gonna pull that under the lash line. A little more grace on the outer edges. Let me pick up Love. I want to see what that does. Right over Kind Vibes. I think Love is a color I could use on its own. Kind Vibes I like to maybe use by itself, and perhaps on the next round of looks we could see what that looks like solo. Going in with Queen, tapping down the outer V of this eye. So if you're deeper than me, Queen might be your transition shade, and then let's see here, Dream will be your standout lid color. They blend beautifully together. I find these shadows very easy to use, but yes, I recognize the fact that we could use a deeper shade in here, more so than Queen. And I can try maybe using a natural hairbrush to see if I get a little more product pickup. And I have a touch more here, but to add further dimension, I'm sure Lisa now realizes maybe on the next palette, Lisa, to have shades that run a little deeper, just so that we have a wider spectrum of possibility in terms of creating different types of looks. Taking Beauty on the inner part of this lid, pulling Grace underneath. Taking Dream on the lid. If you are deeper than me, you could use this to add a little more contrast than what Queen can offer. I'm using my finger just to carefully place this color on, but because it's so soft, it just kind of melts in with everything else. So these are very easy to apply and to use. Now my 207 in with Kate the Fun purple shade. Gonna take that on the inner corner and just kind of whip it on and in. Let's see here. That's pretty. I'm just combining that in with the rest of the mattes here. Taking Kate, but now on the inner lower lash line. Right here. Oh, too much. Too much. I'm actually gonna tap some Brooklyn here on this arch. I like the shade. It's very soft. I typically don't like crazy shimmery stuff on my brow bone, but this is a perfect finish for that purpose. Let's try Glow. On this lid, oh, that's pretty. Very soft. But see that you could achieve a nice glow from that application. And again, I do think these textures very forgiving. Now with Ambition. On the inner part of the lid, that's a very pretty shade. It's like a pinky bronze. Now Amor. On the inner part of the lid, draping it through Grace and Beauty. All right, let's slap on some lashes and I'll be right back. Here's the finished look with chandelier lashes in Lady Grace. We have our smoky mauve rose lavender eye, and we have our warmer neutral eye with that nice shade of pink. I really love how it reflects from the inner corner, and the sheen of, I think, hold on, let me check the name. Glow is literally glowing from my lids. Not mad at it whatsoever. Here's a wide shot of both looks using True Beauty, and on the lips I have Lancome's Juicy Tube Gloss in Tickled Pink. All right, 2 looks down, 2 more to go. I'll see you here in a minute. We applied our Hourglass Veil Eye Primer, and now I wanted, let me see what I want to do here. Let's go in with Beauty first. This definitely has a little more warmth than Grace. Switching brushes because I think for you to get the most out of these shadows in terms of impact is to use a natural hairbrush because it will pick up more product. If you're lighter than me and you feel you don't need it, then you can use your synthetic brush favorites. But I do feel I get a little more punch from using a natural hairbrush, especially if you're deeper than me and you want to see what these shades can do. I want to see Love, and Love I think is a little more neutral than Grace and Beauty, so this will be like my everyday kind of chill shade because Grace runs a little more warm. All right, looking good. I actually want to apply Dream that we applied as our main stage shade on the first round of demos. Definitely want to switch brushes here. This is my SURRATT shader brush as I want to pack on this color on the outer lid to create a little more depth here. And although a shimmer, it melts beautifully in with the matte and it basically blends itself. Now with Kate, that beautiful lavender shade with the pink shift on the majority of the lid. Going back in with Love to further blend the edges. Brooklyn on the inner part of the eye for the highlight. Placing Love on the lower lash line and a little bit of Dream, this shade here that we tapped on the outer lid. Now on the outer lower lash line, just to connect those. I'm gonna tap on a little bit of Kate with my finger. There we go. As well as Dream here. We gotta finish this eye, fam. I applied Queen on Kind Vibes, and that definitely presented like the more purple rose leaning story that can be found in this palette. Perhaps I'll leave it like this and go in with Ambition. We didn't do Ambition yet as a main stage lid shade. I'm gonna take my finger and tap that on the lid. That's a pretty combination. Amor on the inner corner has more of like that copper feel to it. Beauty on the lower lash line, the same matte we applied on the crease. Pulling Amor from inner corner to the inner lower lash line here. Let's try Queen on the actual lash line as like a standout, maybe a little bit of smoke. Going in my Hakuhoro. The number rubbed off, I don't know, I gotta check again. And with this shade here, just to see what we can get on the lid. Tapping here to add a little bit of like a smoky wing. Final blend, here we go. Ooh, wait, let me not forget. I want to apply Brooklyn on my brow bone. I've been liking that. I'm going here too. All right, let's apply some lashes and I'll be right back. Here's a close-up of second round of looks. I still have my Chandelier Lady Grace lashes on. Here we have a more dominant purple lid, maybe with a warmer crease color on this eye. And a more neutral soft daily look, but with the pink gold shimmer bronze. I love this color. I think this is Ambition. It has really nice glow and I think it adds beautiful dimension to the lids without looking too crazy. Here's a wide shot of both looks, and on the lips I have the Lisa Eldridge Embrace Gloss in Muse. This is the first time I'm using the palette. I crack into makeup right away, friends, because there's a lot of content to be recorded, and just to keep the momentum going, I will continue using the palette and of course share my perspective on it as I continue using it. You have to decide if you're the right candidate for this palette. It's a lot softer than the Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath palettes of the world. So if you are more accustomed to heavy duty mattes, to glitzy topper shades, to like high shine metallic shades, not to say that's better or worse, it's just for a certain makeup wearer, you're not going to find that experience in True Beauty. True Beauty is soft, it's easy. The blendability of these shadows, incredible. I had to switch my brush because I did feel that my natural hairs picked up more product and I was able to build accordingly on my lids. The synthetic brushes blended the shadow well, but I wanted more color from the pan, so that's why I had to switch. The shimmers are very soft. They have a glow to them. It's not so much they sparkle. So again, if you're more into those textures, the razzle dazzle textures, you're not going to find them in here. If you do, however, have lids that don't benefit from those textured metallics and they can negatively enhance how your lids look, these are more soft focus, they're more forgiving, they have a glow without accentuating that texture, then this will be perfect for you. In terms of depth, yes, I do think the palette could use more depth, simply because the deepest shade here, Dream, you can use all over your lid to create smoke, but if you wanted a medium shade to create a little more dimension, you're left with Queen, which if you are deeper than me, can be your one and done crease color, but the other colors in here will be very soft on you. It'll be interesting to see, however, how Grace and Love look on a deeper complexion, because it does lean on the warm side. It might not provide depth, but curious to see if it still won't appear ashy. I will continue to add beauty creators down below. We already have Chelsea, Michelle, and Angie from Hot and Flashy that use this palette, so I will make sure to link that video down below where Lisa featured them in demoing this palette, because I can assume this is not going to do well on someone who is deeper complected than me without actually seeing it in action. I'm only assuming based on what I have experienced using this palette today. But again, I can understand how challenging it can be if you want to feature one palette and for it to cover as many skin tones as possible could be difficult. For instance, although Beam and Brooklyn look light on me, I'm sure it might not be an appropriate highlighter color for someone who is significantly lighter than me. And the shade Queen and Beauty might not be deep enough for someone who is deeper complected than me. But again, I do think if we see more beauty creators use this palette, if we could find out from their own experience, then we could come to our own conclusions. Lisa is a dear friend of mine, but I do know this palette is not going to be for everyone. Not just because about the colors, but also because of the finish. It's a lot softer, like I said. It's not wham bam in your face, but this is also, I think, her vision and what she wanted to present in a palette. So keep in mind what this palette profile offers. It might not be for you, and that's okay. If you're looking for a palette that's easy to use, shadows that are easy to blend, and the colors are approachable, then maybe this could be a match. And knowing Lisa and how open she is to feedback, I know she understands my critiques, and anyone who decides to share their critiques down below, know that they don't have to come with malice or cruelty. We could always share our point of view, so we could use this opportunity to provide the appropriate feedback in order to see changes in the next makeup product. And that is it, friends. Let me know if you picked up BK Beauty's True Beauty eyeshadow palette. If you're thinking about it, if you're skipping on it, let me know down below. And until then, fam, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, eyeshadow palette look video, monthly favorites, or nightly life chit chat. Take care, and I will see you again soon.